June 1st was the official start of hurricane season, which lasts through November 30th. We live on a barrier island, which sits at sea level and is completely within storm surge zones. So more than most, we need to prepare and pay attention. Hurricanes are serious business. Wind and water can cause property damage and endanger lives. So while there are plenty of distractions these days, hurricane preparedness can't be overlooked. Last season, Hurricane Ian walloped the West Coast. 149 people died. That's the most in nearly a century for a Florida hurricane. And most of the deaths were residents in barrier islands like ours. Many were seniors with health challenges who chose not to leave. Many were people who were new to the community and mistakenly thought they could simply ride it out. In other words, so many of the deaths were totally avoidable. That is why, in addition to our typical preparation activities in the city of Miami Beach that are always ongoing, our city convened a special tabletop exercise where we assembled every relevant asset in our city government, our partners in the county, hotel and hospital representatives, and folks from the Weather Service, as well as experts in preparedness. We held a mock exercise where we gamed out a hurricane much like Ian in order to identify what we did well and, more critically, what we could do better. So here are some key preparedness points. First, make sure you've done your pre-hurricane preparation. Have an idea where you will evacuate to if necessary. Now, you don't need to travel hundreds of miles. It could be a friend or relative somewhere inland. Some hotels allow pets or lift restrictions on pets if they are taking in people sheltering from a storm. Have supplies already assembled. Flashlights, batteries, some non-perishable food and water. A 3-day supply of medicine is recommended. It's a good idea to document possessions that might be destroyed or damaged and catalog photos and serial numbers if you can. If you are elderly and have special needs, our Fire Department Emergency Medical Services Division assists in transporting those who have medical needs and are dependent upon electricity. But you must register with the county now, during blue skies. You can do that by calling 311 to register. Please do it now rather than later. So let's talk about evacuation orders. Number one, and this is so important, if we issue an evacuation order, leave the island. Leave the island. Don't think you can ride it out or it won't hit us. That is a fool's assumption. Tragically, it is exactly what too many on the West Coast did when Ian was approaching. Now, because our city is a storm surge area, there are no shelters here. Miami-Dade operates evacuation centers on the mainland, so for those of you who have no other options, they are announced as they open when there is an impending storm. There are bus and pickup points throughout the city where evacuating residents without their own transportation can be transported to these shelters of last resort. You can find this out and the locations on our website. Now, people think they can stay because our emergency services can help as a last resort. That is another false assumption. Once winds kick up, usually around 39 miles per hour or more, rescue services are likely not available anymore. Also, some of the most dangerous time is after a storm when people can get electrocuted from downed wires or emergency health services cannot reach them. So, if we order an evacuation, leave. Hurricanes are not a time to panic. They are a time to take measured and informed action. People panic typically because they don't know what to do. We know what to do. So stay informed, follow instructions. There will always be an abundance of information available in the media, and our city provides easy access online for up-to-date information. So let's hope and pray for an uneventful storm season, but let's also be prepared just in case. Stay safe.